Hi everyone, I'm Kelsey. Welcome to my channel, Connecting with Spirit. So in today's video, I wanted to talk about what you can do if you are being triggered by whatever is going on in the world right now. Because right now there is just so much going on in the world and it is a very triggering place. The energy is very heavy and you might find yourself just being really triggered, feeling really emotionally overwhelmed. Your nervous system is just all over the place emotionally. You're all over the place. You're feeling a wide range of emotions: fear, terror, despair, helplessness, hopelessness, powerlessness, whatever the case may be. And it can be a very debilitating state to find yourself in. If you're listening to the news, if you're just having conversations with people, the topics are probably going to come up and it can be very, very triggering. And I wanted to make this video today because I thought it was really important. I want to empower you and to let you know that you do have power in this situation. So you might feel like it's totally out of your control, that people are making decisions on a grand scale and maybe it's not in alignment with what you want. You feel like you haven't had any choice or any say, yet these decisions are being made anyway, regardless, and you might be feeling powerless in that regard. But I wanted to remind you that even if that is the case, you do have power, and your power lies in sitting with and looking at those emotions that are currently being triggered within you, clearing them, processing them out of your energy field, and bringing in healing for yourself. So this is what is known as shadow work. And this is pretty much like identifying and looking at the emotions that are in your energetic field that you mightn't even know that are there, but the universe usually draws your attention to them by certain circumstances, certain things happening in your environment which trigger those emotions within you, that let you know that there's something there within you that needs your attention. Something there that needs to be cleared, that needs to be acknowledged, that needs to be healed. And this is where your power lies in this situation. If you're feeling out of control and like there's nothing else that you can do, you can definitely sit with yourself and go within. So this is by no means an easy thing or an easy ask, to sit with yourself and to acknowledge all those emotions that are coming up. It is a skill and it does take time to get to learn it and to get comfortable with sitting with yourself and identifying your emotions, and pretty much like processing and clearing them out of your energy field. So do bear that in mind if and when you start to do this. And pretty much the premise is that as within is so without. So any energy that is in your energy fields, a lot of which that you will have absolutely no awareness that it's there because it's in your subconscious, it's in your DNA, it's from past lives, it's from your ancestral line, it's from things that have happened in childhood that you have absolutely no recollection of. But those frequencies are constantly vibrating in your energetic field, and they're like radio signals, like they're kind of broadcasting that signal out, and that's going out, and it gets manifested in your physical reality, so in your immediate physical reality, but also in the wider world. So whatever is within you manifests outside in your wilder reality. And if you are seeing things in your environment or in the wider world that you do not like, you have the power to change it. And this is how you do it. You have a look at those emotions that are coming up, that those experiences on the wider world or indeed in your immediate vicinity are triggering within you, and you go within and you acknowledge what those emotions are, process them out, get to the root of whatever it is, clearing it out of your system and healing it. And once you do that, you will no longer see those or have those experiences in your immediate reality or in the wider world. And this is how you take back your power and you decide what sort of experiences that you want to have, instead of allowing those energies that are in your subconscious kind of run the show, and you're just going to be constantly attracting those sort of things all the time. This is how you take back your power. This is how you decide, I want something different. I don't no longer want war to be happening in this world. So you go within and see, where are you at war within yourself? Where is the conflict within yourself? What sort of emotions are being triggered when you see those images of war and things like that? This is where you can make a difference, because when you heal yourself, you're not only healing yourself, you're also healing the world, and at a collective consciousness level. So it's really it's a huge thing. I cannot stress how much of an impact that one person can have on healing yourself and healing the collective. And if enough of us do it, we reach a tipping point, 51% of the collective consciousness, where, let's say, we've healed those wounds of war within us. Then war can no longer manifest itself in the wider reality, because the majority of us hold that vibration of peace. And this is what it's all about. So if you are finding yourself really triggered, the first thing I would say is to ask yourself, well, first identify if you are in a state of dysregulation. So this can be easier said than done, to be perfectly honest, because when you're in that fight or flight mode, your prefrontal cortex, your thinking, your ability to think and reason is completely shut down, and you're just operating on instinct. You're in that survival mode and you're not thinking clearly. So the first thing I would say is to become aware that you are in that fight or flight. You are dysregulated, your nervous system is dysregulated, your emotions are dysregulated, and to do something to bring yourself back into a state of regulation. So there are many different things that you can do for this. A few of the things that I like to do is to get out into nature, to ask trees, Gaia, the sun, to help me to regulate my nervous system, to help me bring me back into a state of emotional regulation. I also like to do heart breathing, because there is a place in the heart where there's a pocket of energy, and it's pure unconditional love, and it brings you back into that state of emotional regulation like nothing else, perfectly honest. But there are many different tools that you can use to do this. It's just a matter of finding the ones that work best for you, and identifying and becoming aware where you are in that state of emotional unregulation or nervous system unregulation, and doing something as quick as possible to bring yourself back into that state of emotional regulation, or where your nervous system is regulated. And once you're there, you can think clearly, and you can begin to identify the emotions, those buttons that are being pushed within you that kind of send you into that space of that emotional dysregulation. You can begin to identify what those emotions are. So I usually like to just ask myself, what am I feeling? And I'll sit with myself and I'll just kind of get a sense of what the emotions are. So for example, say it's powerlessness. I'll identify what the emotion is, and I'll say, well, why am I feeling powerless? It's because I saw this thing in the news and that's why I felt powerless. And then I'll ask myself, well, why? Why is that making me feel powerless? And I'll take it a little bit further. And usually sitting with myself, I'll hear something else. Something else will come up and say, well, you're feeling powerless because it reminds you of a time in your childhood when this thing happened and you felt powerless. And then I'll sit with it even further and I'll say why, and I'll keep going until I get to the root of it, and I'll feel that energy go and be completely cleared from my system until there's like nothing else that I can think of this thing that has triggered me, that trigger, and I'm just neutral. There are no emotions coming up, there's no thoughts. I'm completely at peace with whatever that trigger is, and that's when I'll know that I've gotten to the root of it and I've completely cleared it out of my system. And yeah, this is how you take your power back. This is how you clear karma as well from your energetic fields. And it is not an easy thing to do, to be perfectly honest, to sit with yourself, to identify those emotions and to process them, especially if you haven't been taught how to do this, especially if you have been emotionally neglected, you haven't been taught how to regulate your nervous system, how to identify your emotions, how to communicate your emotions, how to process your emotions. And it is a skill and does take time to learn. And very often, if you have been traumatized, your go-to will probably be avoidance and being busy and doing 101 things rather than sitting with yourself and going within, because it can feel very scary and overwhelming to do that. And I deeply, deeply sympathize and empathize with you if this is where you are finding yourself at right now, just feeling really overwhelmed and paralyzed with fear and terror, whatever the emotions might be. Because for me, when I was during my healing journey, I couldn't go a few minutes without being triggered, to be perfectly honest. I pretty much identified repressed trauma within me, and I unleashed it. I released it from me, and it was like opening up Pandora's box. The trauma just erupted, and it was like I was living in hell and going through hell at the time. And at the time, this was a few months before COVID and all the restrictions and lockdowns and everything else came in place. And it was just a really, really difficult time because that whole event just really, really triggered me. I couldn't go a few minutes without being triggered by something in the news, by someone telling me that I had to do this, that I had to wear that I had to get a jab, or whatever the case may be. And it was really, really difficult. And the only thing that brought me relief was sitting with myself, was identifying those emotions within me and clearing them out, you know, having a look at those triggers and uprooting them and letting them go from my system so that they wouldn't be triggered again. And this was most definitely an opportunity for me to clear and heal what was within me. Because it was really interesting, the trauma that I was working through and healing and trying to overcome was mirrored in the events that were happening in the outside reality. So what I was working on was breaking out of the karmic cycle of an abuse of power, of my power being abused. And this was exactly what was happening during COVID, when all the restrictions were in place, when we were told what to wear, when we were told to get a job, when we were told we couldn't go a certain place, when we were told we couldn't see certain people. It was very much in relation to that abuse of power and not having a choice, just being told what to do and not having a say in it. So this is another really, really important point as well, that whatever is happening in the world today, if you are being triggered, is to remember that it is an opportunity for you to identify any old trauma, any old patterns, any old wounds or scars that you have within you. And it is giving you that opportunity to heal them, to break free from karmic cycles, to free yourself. Even though it can feel absolutely horrific at the time, it's just a call to take advantage of this and to help use it to your advantage, and that you can use it to help you heal, because that is what it is designed to do. That the universe is trying to put the signposts on you to show you what parts of yourself that are unhealed and need attention right now. And I just wanted to make this video to make you aware of that, and because it might be something that you're not seeing right now, that you can just be caught up in the feelings and feeling absolutely horrendous, when there is ways that you can use what is going on in the world to help you to heal, to take back your power, to help heal the collective, to break yourself free from karmic cycles, to do the shadow work and to make a difference. Yeah, that is just what I wanted to say in this video today. I just wanted to empower you that you are not powerless, to remember your power, that you do have the skills and tools available to you in order to take back your power and heal yourself, and in so doing heal the world. So I do have several videos on how to sit with yourself and process your emotions. I do have a video on how to connect in with your heart and heart breathing to emotionally regulate yourself. I do have a video about connecting in with nature as well, because it's also really, really good if this is happening to ask nature, to get out into nature, to ask the trees, to ask Gaia, to ask the sun to help you to process these emotions, to clear these emotions out of your energy field, to heal yourself, to bring yourself back into a state of balance, harmony, peace, whatever sort of words that you want to use, to even ask your healing team of light to help you to do this, because there are so many energies around you that are supporting you, that want you to succeed in this endeavor, that want you to heal, that want you to break free from karma, that want you to just feel at peace again. So to use that, and this is also a reminder to ask spirit, to ask Gaia, to ask nature to help you in order to do this, and to remind you of your power. So I hope this resonated with you. Let me know your thoughts by leaving me a comment below. And other than that, thank you so much for being here, for tuning in. Until next time, take care. Bye-bye.